Hello, welcome back to the Padded Room. I'm Wayne, and this is Talking Tech with Wayne, the show dedicated to discussing smartphones, smart homes, and all those things in between. This show is a promise of information freely given to all that seek it, and that is a pact between me and all of you. Log on to our website and click the Join the Discussion button to, join the discussion. While you're there, check out my past shows or click the Schedule a Call button if you're interested in exploring how to bring a Talking Tech discussion group to your local church or community center. The website address is above my head along with the number to our helpline where trained technicians are ready to answer your questions 24/7, and best of all, it's 100% free. Today, we'll be looking at entrepreneurship for the 50-plus crowd. Over 50 and ready to start a small business? Entrepreneurs over the age of 50 are one of the fastest growing groups of new business owners in the nation. For age 50-plus individuals, entrepreneurship offers an opportunity to use your knowledge and experience that you've gained through your life towards creating a new business that can be rewarding in many ways. This is an exciting area, especially if you're considering that there are 76 million people over the age of 50 in the United States. For the new Summer of Encore Mentoring Initiative, SBA, Small Business Administration, district offices, and AARP, state offices nationwide will offer events specifically designed to help Encore entrepreneurs, those age 50 and older, who want to start or grow the business. Coaching can be critical for the success of small businesses. It can also help folks bring their experience, knowledge, and skills to a new venture, which create exciting new opportunities and job creation. The number of Americans age 50 plus are working and looking for work has grown significantly over the past decade and is expected to continue to increase. In fact, 35% of U.S. labor force participants will be age 50 plus in 2023. This compares to just 25% in 2002. Small business owners is a good option for many baby boomers. Small business owners who get long-term mentoring may see increased sales and hire more workers. You're never too old to get rich if you follow these tips for starting a business. Here's why starting a business might be easier when you're over 50. Of all the reasons to start a business after age 50, perhaps the best one is that the years are passing. Maybe it's something you've always wanted to do. For some reason, it's a good strategy to getting more work years in before retirement. Sure, it's a lot of work and a lot of hours, but there's one thing that should not stop you, and that's your age. The older you get, the greater your chances of success. Those over 50 are almost twice as likely to be successful as those under 25. In the U.S., this age group is launching more startups than any other cohort. That stat comes from Elizabeth Iles, founder of Global Institute for Experienced Entrepreneurship. She started the institute at age 70. It's entirely possible to start a business after age 50, and Carrie Hinchins profiles 20 successful older entrepreneurs in her latest book, Never Too Old to Get Rich. The Entrepreneur's Guide to Starting a Business Midlife is in today's world, you don't need a brick and mortar store, Hanson states. The beauty of the world we live in is that you can accomplish a great deal from a home office. Hanton, a nationally recognized expert in career transitions and retirement, says you need to start with a deep dive into your soul, a solid MRI of your own passion and personality, talents, and inner drive to start a business. Ask yourself the big questions. Why start a business? Why you? And why now? Most people who did it say it's more work than they imagined, Hannon said. They also say they wish they had started sooner. Among other reasons, it's hard to get back into the traditional workplace after 50 if you've been forced out. Starting your own business puts you back in the driver's seat. In fact, with a few more years under your belt, you have more of an edge than you think when it comes to starting a business. Hannon says the 50-plus crowd has some advantages that don't get enough attention. Here's what you should keep in mind before you strike out on your own. The top qualities people who get into the game a little later have more capacity in several areas. Experience. You've been through some ups and downs, Hannon says. You can bring some balance that younger people can't and doesn't have your world experience. Next, you're likely to have a financial cushion to help you launch. Most people who start are self-funded, Hannon says. It's really critical to have the support under you. You've got a network. If you're starting an industry where you already worked as a customer or a client, you have a network to call on as potential clients and customers. Hannon says that network can also help you. Hannon recommends turning to your friends, colleagues, and former work associates to get the ins and outs of your industry before you launch. Check your financial fitness. Before you get started, Hannon recommends a financial checkup. Again, as someone with a few decades of work-related experience, you'll understand the importance of paying down debt and drawing up a budget. Scrutinize your spending to see where you can get lean and mean. Have at least 6 months' worth of expenses saved up. Some people consider relocating when they start starting a business, Hannon says. You might want to look at the cost of living against that in other areas, and downsize your home is another option. These are all things you can do ahead of time. Paying attention to the bigger budget items, not just cutting back on restaurant spending, to make sure you have the ability to be nimble. One critical financial warning: do not tap into your retirement funds. It may be tempting, but that should be your absolute last resource you turn to fund a business. Someone younger might have time to build it back up. You just don't have that time. Embrace what's free. Take advantage of all the free resources you can. SCORE, a partner of the Small Business Administration, is an organization that provides free business mentoring and education for those looking for experienced help from experienced entrepreneurs. There will be more on them later. Look for ways to reach out in your community. The internet also offers plenty of sites and templates for business plan. Your value proposition. Remember the common wisdom about reinventing yourself. It's not as much reinvention as redeploying the skills you've used throughout your career. Don't make any harsh moves. Do your homework to see what you can do. Look at the market and see what you have to contribute that no one else is doing or with your particular slant. Then do the job first. You can volunteer or moonlight. but find something that is as close to the work as possible to see if it works for you. A work scenario might sound great until you actually try it on. You might have to pick up some new skills or a certification. Without going as far as a master's degree, it's worth thinking about ways to ramp up your professional profile. Partner up. Consider a senior-junior partnership. Think intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. This kind of business relationship is fantastic, and says. When an older entrepreneur pairs with someone younger, you get an unbeatable combination. They've got tech savvy and enthusiasm, and you've got capital, the resources, and older, wiser contacts. You could build a business that goes on for 20 years. After all, you want a business that will grow slowly and organically. Women are especially good collaborators, and women over 50 are the top demographic worldwide who are starting businesses. Women may even have a higher success rate than men, according to the BPN study. What makes women fabulous is that they're great collaborators, Hannon says, noting that women tend to be open to finding a partner with expertise in areas they themselves are not familiar with. Women are also less focused on hitting the ball out of the park. Remember, put your pieces together and ask for help. Hannon says, be patient. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Sell it. Even if your core business idea has nothing to do with selling, you will still have to sell your idea. She recommends participating in Toastmasters, a local acting or improv class. Entrepreneurs told Hannon in her book that marketing and selling, even if they had a great idea, was that one stumbling block. It may be even worth getting a short-term sales job for some direct selling experience if you've never sold anything. Be comfortable selling yourself, Hannon says. It's all about sales. The passion that spurs someone to dream of starting a business isn't reserved for the techie millennium in the torn jeans and hoodie. Even the person in the relaxed fit khakis and reading glasses can feel the zeal. Research shows that baby boomers may have a greater passion for entrepreneurship than even the younger generation. One report says that in 2018, those ages 55 and to 64 had a higher rate of new entrepreneur activity than the stereotypical risk-taking 20 to 34 age group. Even more, boomers might take the leap, but they may be intimidated by the word entrepreneurial, says Elizabeth Isle, CEO of Global Institute of Experience Entrepreneurship. There are many factors to consider, including how to finance a business, but perhaps the biggest challenge, Isle says, is having the confidence to do it. Match your interests with an area of opportunity. What if you have the dream and the drive but can't decide what avenue to take? Experts say that there are many opportunities in the current economy. Here are some growing industries and useful strategies to get you started. Services for seniors. An aging population has created business opportunities for jobs and businesses that ride the age wave, says Carrie Hansen, a career expert who focuses on clients in their 40s and 50s. There are businesses and services that are geared towards people in their 70s and 80s that have been done by people in their 50s or 60s. For example, patient advocacy services for seniors who need assistance with healthcare-related issues, such as tackling billing mistakes or sorting out insurance coverage. There's also a need for home modification professionals, fitness trainers for seniors, and personal finance planners. There's a huge demand for things even as basic as bill painting services, says Hannon, who also serves as a job expert for AARP. We're living longer and people really are seeking out advice on how to manage their accounts. Consulting. You may have acquired a depth of knowledge in a specific area by the time you're 50, and that can serve as a foundation for building a business. That's what David Finkel of South Mills, North Carolina, discovered. After having worked more than 30 years in the maritime industry, Finkel and his wife Jolene started Eagle Nest Enterprises, which offers training and consultation services to other businesses in the industry. After a slow start, he says business picked up to the point where he was making more money on his own than he's ever been paid by anyone else. The key, Finkel says, is having a niche market. Find something that people need. If you feel the need, the revenue follows. Bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is another promising field for a post-50 entrepreneur, says Edward Costello of Blue Vine, a California-based invoice factoring company, which offers financing to small businesses. Millions of people are starting businesses every year, and people are intimidated by bookkeeping, he says. The barriers to opening a bookkeeping business is incredibly low. You just need to be comfortable with numbers and not be intimidated by basic concepts. A bookkeeping business also offers flexibility in terms of choosing your work schedule and clients, Costello adds. A web-based business. John Foreman, who was struggling with sleep apnea when he came across research that helped remedy his illness. That gave him the idea for a web-based business called Breath of Fresh Air, which is developing an app for breathing techniques to deal with sleep apnea, asthma, and other lung-related illnesses. The center of operations is his home, a horse farm in the middle of Pennsylvania. Foreman, a former investor, consultant, and academic, worked long distance with software developers, web designers, and others helping him to build his company. He relied on online tools to keep the business humming, such as Skype and web-based project management applications. More on apps and tools later. One advantage of starting a business over 50, he said, is the network of people you can tap into. I knew people I could get guidance from, he says. That's the real value. Pick your passion. Following your passion may be cliche, but it should be a guiding principle in starting a business after 50 or at any age. In the early 90s, Frank and Cynthia Edwin opened a restaurant in Philadelphia, PA. The Bird's Nest became so successful that the company eventually burned out. It took all the joy out of us, Frank says. The company moved to Florida, where they worked as chefs in the yachting business in Miami. Now they're back home in Pennsylvania. The Edwins reopened the Bird's Nest last year, but made sure that it wouldn't be the hyper-business restaurant that exhausted them 20 years ago. This time, they provide catering and operate a pop-up restaurant out of their 1840s-era Gothic revival-style home twice a month. They send an email for each event to a list of customers who pay $85 each for a 7 to 9 course dinner. It's kind of like a miracle situation where you have a do-over of a concept you've had earlier in life. He said, opportunities based on a personal passion abound. Hannon, the AARP job coach, says she's worked with people who started businesses based on interests as varied as sewing, gardening, and dog grooming. There are ways to tap into your passion and what you love to start your own business at over 50. What follows are some of the resources I mentioned earlier. The Small Business Administration, www.sba.gov. The Small Business Administration offers substantial educational information with a specific focus on assisting small businesses to develop and grow. As noted above, the agency has numerous tools for businesses that can be accessed on its website, including a small business planner and additional training programs. Access to capital. The agency offers a variety of financial resources for small businesses, including microlending or small loans that are issued to those who wouldn't otherwise qualify for funding. Loans are issued by partner banks, credit unions, and other financial institutions. Entrepreneur development. This is driven by counseling services and low-cost training provided by SBA. This is available to both new and existing businesses in more than 1,800 locations across U.S. There's also a mentor program that connects new business owners with retired and/or existing entrepreneurs. Contracting. The SBA reserves 23% in government contracting dollars for small businesses with the help of other federal departments and agencies. The agency guarantees 5% of those contracting dollars for women and another 3% for business owners that are disabled and veterans. The agency also advocates for present business owners at the state and federal government levels. SCORE, www.score.org. SCORE, the nation's largest network of volunteer expert business mentors, is dedicated to helping small businesses plan, launch, manage, and grow. SCORE is a nonprofit organization that is driven to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and educational workshops. How can SCORE business mentors help your small business? SCORE mentors offer area-specific advice at no cost, like financing, human resources, business planning, via email, telephone, and video. SCORE mentors all experts in entrepreneur and related fields meet with their small business clients on an ongoing basis to provide continued advice and support. SCORE provides a wide range of services including training, webinars, online workshops, courses on demand, and a library of online resources. The Urban League Entrepreneur Center, www.urbanleaguephiladelphia.org. Entrepreneurship Center. This center provides technical assistance, strategic planning, and links to resources to help small businesses grow their financial and human capital. One-on-one coaching, no matter the stage of business. The team of experts provide coaching to assist entrepreneurs grow to scale. Workshops and special events. Customized training development, customized training for businesses to equip them with the necessary skills to obtain growth. Well, I see that's all the time I have for today. It has been my pleasure to be here, and I look forward to the next time we can do it again. I wish you all a farewell.